a yoga class for lower back care. So I have so many people that tell me that they suffer with their lower back, including myself. Sometimes that's an area that I can suffer with too. So I wanted to record a class for you. So whether it's a posture related problem, whether it's an injury, I think we've all been there where we've maybe done an exercise and felt, oh, my back doesn't feel okay. Or I know for me, if I do a long journey, if I sit for quite some period, I then feel it in my lower back. So whatever your concern is, this class is to help you. Of course, I'd like you to listen to your body. And if you're feeling that the class is not working for you or it's making anything worse, then you stop. So please do listen. You know your body best than anyone else. You're living in your body. So I'd encourage you to listen throughout the practice. It might be some postures feel really good for your back. It might be other postures that, no, my back doesn't like that. So then you stop, you change it, or you come out completely. So let's begin. Please have a belt of some kind, whether it's a yoga belt, it can be a dressing gown cord, it doesn't matter, as long as it's some sort of belt, and a block if you have one at home. You can also use maybe a container, a book, something like that, or even a small pillow. So let's start in a cross-legged position. You can use your block to sit on if you prefer. We're going to have our left leg bent in first and then our right. So maybe you prefer to sit on your block. I'm going to sit on my block. It feels comfortable and it just tilts the pelvis slightly into that more neutral position, dropping the knees down. So close your eyes. Relax your shoulders, lengthen into your neck, and send the crown of your head higher towards the ceiling. Let your arms feel heavy. Start to notice the pattern of your breath. Is the breath coming in slow? Is it coming in fast? Can you feel the coolness of the breath as it comes in? Slight warmth of the breath as it goes out. Ideally, during your practice, try to keep your breath in and out through the nose. Either staying with the eyes closed or maybe blinking the eyes open, we're going to do a rotation through our lower backs. So you can just keep your hands on your knees and just roll a little into that lower back. Just lifting away slightly from your block if you're using one. Like you've an imaginary hula hoop through the waist. And then reverse your circle the opposite way. And come back to centre. If you're sitting on a block, I'd like you to remove it and just bring your block in front of you. So we're going to take a walk towards our block. So maybe it's bringing your hands to your block and just shifting it away as you lower a little lower into that forward fold. Maybe it's your hands to the ground. Come back a little bit. Maybe it's your hands to the ground and you're dropping your forehead towards the block. Maybe elbows come to the block and you're resting your head in your hands. So just find the posture that feels good. The legs are the same, but it's just how you use that upper body. What way feels better today? And then hold. Coming back to the sensation of your breath. And if you can feel that in your lower back, which you should be able to, are there any areas that feel tight? And start to inhale and exhale into those areas. So you're sending the breath all the way into the lower back. So we hold our postures so we can go a little deeper into those areas that are holding tightness. If you quickly came into the stretch and came back out again, it wouldn't really be doing much good. We need to hold, we need to delve deeper. We're then going to take that roll back up, bringing your hands to your knees and maybe just taking that little roll through the hips again, if that feels good. So quite often when we have lower back pain, it can also be connected to our hips. So that's why in a yoga practice, I like to include hip work as well. And we're going to be doing a little bit more of that as we delve further into our class today. Just reverse your circle. So we're just doing a few simple exercises, but these exercises should give you a lot of benefit. Last time circling around and come back up. So I'd like you to change the cross of your legs. So you're going to bring that right leg in first and then the left. Make sure the feet are not on top of each other, they are to the ground. If you want any support for the knees, you can take it. And then you're going to grab your block again and bring it just in front of you. We're going to take that walk. Maybe elbows to the block, maybe it's the forehead. Remember, one side will often feel quite different to the other, and we need to allow for that. It will show you what side you're holding more tension. So we should be able to feel this now more on our left side. Left lower back, the hip, the glute. And again, just come back to your breath. And please don't worry if you can't come too low in this posture. It's okay to be here. And you just start to delve a little deeper. You're still breathing into your lower back. Just take your time, be gentle with yourself. There's no forcing, there's no pressure. You're just listening. What's your body telling you? Let it be your guide. Very slowly, we take that roll back up with care. We don't want to move quickly. We bring our hands back to our knees and maybe take that roll again. So it might be that roll's quite small, that's okay, particularly if this is where we're holding tension on our left side. Start to move a little into your shoulders as well, just freeing up the upper back, and then reverse that circle. Let's take one more. And come back to centre. So we're going to come round into what we call table position. So onto our hands and our knees. So just make sure your hands are under your shoulders. You take your fingers wide, palms flat down, and then your knees are under your hips. So we're going to do our cat-cow stretch with our breath. So it's like you're pushing away from your mat. And as you inhale, dip into the belly and bring your gaze up. So you're dipping into your lower back. And then as you exhale, you start to roll your spine up to the ceiling and tuck in your chin. We take a pause between the movements. We inhale, that breath travels through the spine. We're slightly dropping our tummy towards our mat and our gaze is up. We're not dropping in the arms are long. And then we exhale and we roll the spine up to the ceiling. So it's quite nice to close your eyes and just feel the breath and the body moving. We're going to keep going with this position for a little longer. It's a slow movement. Sending length through the spine. This pose is known as cat-cow. So the cat part is when we push the spine up to the ceiling. Like an angry cat. You've probably all seen cats do that. They take that stretch, they send their spine up to the sky. I'm just going to take one more here. So make sure you take your pause between your inhale and your exhale. And we finish obviously on that exhale, pushing the spine to the ceiling. And then come back to table. So this time shift your hands slightly further forward, like a hand's width further forward to the top of your mat. We're going to come back to drawing that circle. So we sit towards our right heel and then we move over to our left heel and then we come to our left wrist and our right wrist and we just keep going. See if you can really slow this movement down. Stretching into the arms as well, delving over all of the joints. Any problems with the knees, you can bring your knees onto a rolled up blanket. The knees don't like this position. And then reverse your circle. Taking that the other way. Nice long breath with the movements. It's important to keep the back moving, even at times that maybe feel quite tight or there's discomfort. We still want to keep some movement in our backs as much as we possibly can. Coming back to centre, just take your knees as wide as your mat, bring your big toes together and start to sit back towards your heels. You can always drop your head to your block or your pillow. Reach your arms a little higher on your mat and then rest the forehead down. So make sure you're not holding the head up. Do grab some support if you need it. So we're reaching long with the arms, long with the spine. Stretching into the shoulders as well. Creating length in the lower back. You can inhale here and take a sigh out of your mouth. Feeling of just letting go. Let's do that 2 more times. Let go of any worries. Maybe it's that feeling of letting go of tightness and tension, stress. Take 1 more breath here, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out of the mouth. And then slowly roll yourself back up. So we're going to come down onto our mats, coming on to our backs. Do have your block close by. Keep a bend in your knees as you go back. Now, for some of you, maybe it's very difficult to go back. And you can stay seated. If you really cannot go back, just stay seated on your hands if it's very challenging for you. So if you are okay, we lie back, coming to our mat. We keep that bend in the knees, but just bring the soles of the feet closer to you, or the heels closer to you. So I can just touch my heels even with my fingertips. Arms are alongside you and the palms are flat down. So we're going to take an inhale in and we just roll the spine off of the mat. If for some reason you can't lie down and you're in a seated position, I'm going to get you to take your knees side to side. So we're just rolling up into that bridge. We're holding. And then we exhale and we peel the spine back down. Really slowly. Placing the spine back down on our mat. We're going to keep the arms where they are alongside our body, and we're going to work into our right hip. So remember the hip, the lower back, it's all connected. So we're going to send our right leg long, keep the left leg bent, and we're going to start to draw a circle with the right leg. Now maybe there's a little bit of clinking and clunking in that right hip. Try and keep your left knee still and keep the movement slow. This is a slow movement. And you can do this from that seated position as well if you need to. Even when you lie back, you can always prop yourself a little if it's not good to be flat down. So we're drawing a circle with that right leg. This is a movement that I found really beneficial for my lower back when I have discomfort. So let's reverse that circle. The upper body's not moving, just that right leg. Remember to keep that movement slow, keep your breath long. Inhale and exhale. Take one more circle here. And then bend and drop that right foot to your mat. Rest for a moment. So we have the other side to do. So let's send our left leg long. Let's start to draw a circle with that left foot. Arms are staying where they are. Try not to grip the hands, just relax the upper body. You have that long breath. Make your circle quite big as you can. Slowing everything down. And we're going to reverse our circle, opposite way. Getting some engagement in our core as well. Another important factor for lower back health is having a strong core. Everything originates from the core and spine. So if our core is not strong, it's going to naturally put strain on our lower back. So that can be another class to focus on, strong core. I'm not going to get you to do core exercises if you've lower back discomfort right now. We take a bend back into that knee and place that foot back onto the mat. We're going to bend and cactus the arms. So you bend at the elbows, back of the hands on the ground. And we're just going to take our knees over to the right side. Just let them fall. Twist through the spine. You can pick up the head and turn the gaze to the left arm if that feels comfortable. It's quite nice just to close the eyes. If you're doing this from seated, you're just dropping your knees to the right. Turn the head back to centre. Come back to centre with the knees. And let them fall over to your left side. The arms are not moving. You have that option of picking up the head and turning the head to the right side. Just take a moment to check in that the jaw is soft. No clenching of the jaw or the tongue. No gripping with the toes or the fingers. We're going to roll back to centre. So if you're in a seated position, you're just going to do a neck roll here, rolling through the head. If you're lying on your back, we're going to try our stretch with our block, but we're going to be very mindful of how our back feels. So we take our block flat down, we push back into our bridge pose, and we slide our block under our lower back and the top of the glutes. We rest our lower back onto that block and we take the legs long. Now you're going to be mindful of how this feels. You can do this stretch without a block as well. We're going to bring the arms up and we're going to stretch long on our mats. Breathing all of the way in, all As you exhale, just see if you can sink into your block a little further. If your block is not feeling okay, you remove it. You're seated doing a neck roll. Make sure you roll in both directions. Also come back to the hip circles that we done at the start of the class. Keeping that movement through the spine. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then take a bend back into your legs, bringing your arms back down to the mat. Push away from your block, back into that bridge. Slide your block away from your lower back, arms alongside you, and slowly, slowly lower all of the way back down. We're going to take rest now in Shavasana. So you can keep your knees bent. You can always turn your feet a little to the side and drop your knees together. Or you can take support under your knees as you send your legs long. So you can have a bolster or pillow under the knees. Move your arms away from the body, palms facing up. If it's really not comfortable to lie down, you can be in that seated position. You can bring your back against a wall and just close your eyes. And as you rest here in your chosen position, I'd like you to become back aware of your breath. And as you inhale, I'd like you to visualize that you're inhaling a white, healing light. You inhale that light in, and you exhale that light to that part of the body that feels tight, or you're having problems with. So that light is flooding this area of your body, lower back, maybe the hips, just focusing on that area, sending this white healing light. And now as you inhale and exhale, you start to spread that light throughout the whole of your body, down the legs, all the way to the toes, into the glutes, into the whole of the back, spreading that light down the arms, the fingers, palms of the hands, spreading that light through the neck, whole of the upper back, light into the tummy, chest, shoulders, spreading that light through the face, the eyes, forehead, back of the head, the crown of the head. The whole body is full of this white healing light. And I'd like you to rest here for as long as you need today. When you come out of this posture, you're going to gently hug your knees to your chest. Take a little roll side to side and slowly roll to one side and rest there. So you're coming out really, really slowly. Let me know how you found this class. I wish you a wonderful day or evening. Take care. Namaste.